I Care a Lot on Netflix. Heavy spoiler alert, obviously, but if you've already seen it or just don't care, let's get right into it. So the movie kicks off showing how Marla likes to scam old people with court orders deeming them incapable of taking care of themselves, then forcing them into care facilities against their will. Yeah, that's what I said. And this is our protagonist? Like, bruh, how? If you thought that was bad enough, she milks them for their money and benefits off of them until they die.
Is this nigga serious?
And the thing I found odd about the first portion of the movie is they kind of try to paint her as powerful for doing these horrible things to people's loved ones. She wouldn't even let their loved ones see them for fear that they'd tell them they were forced in there and held against their will. Now, if that's not a qualification for somebody being a stone cold supervillain, I don't know what is. The movie starts off making you feel like you're on the wrong side. Even in one of the beginning scenes where she's having a court hearing versus one of her victim's sons, she seems so smug and uncaring that she's keeping him away from his mother and keeping his mother trapped in one of these care facilities, which is more like a prison if you ask me. And oh my god, that smug fake smile she kept on her face as she's lying and not caring about the pain she's causing others just adds insult to injury. Every time she would have that damn look on her face, I just wanted someone to
say goodnight, motherfucker.
And even after she wins the court case and the guy says super cliche insults and spits in her face, I kinda understood his anger. I mean, anybody would become violent if one of their loved ones is being held against their will, legally, using loopholes, and the idiot judge won't do any due diligence to see what's really going on in this sketchy situation. So then she gives this speech about not being afraid of him and blah blah blah. So as the movie continues, she picks this other lady, Jennifer, to victimize, who's obviously capable of taking care of herself, and uses the cops to scare her. And I'm just looking at the screen like, this is your protagonist! I legit feel bad for this poor woman she's doing this to. Then she gets to the place, and they even take her phone away to put her at their mercy. Then this guy shows up in a taxi looking to pick up Jennifer, but instead Marla's girlfriend opens the door. So he leaves and goes back to his boss, which happens to be Jennifer's son, who just happens to be a very powerful man. So seeing this, I'm just like, yes, 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 yes! So they send this lawyer to Marla's office, basically telling her, awful things will happen to you unless you release Marla from your care. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. But basically, she tries to pull this tough guy act and says she's not releasing her, so he offers her $150,000. But of course, being the thorn in everybody's ass that she is, she tries to negotiate higher, all the way up to $5 million, which he refuses to pay. So he leaves her with this last warning.
Right now, look at what you have: thriving business, employees, nice face, unbroken bones, a life. When this is through, you're not gonna have any of those.
So I'm like, damn, this shit's getting serious. And it gets so serious that it ends up going to the courtroom, where the lawyer is attempting to battle Marla and is laying down a pretty solid case for why she shouldn't be the legal guardian of Jennifer. Then for some reason, he hands Marla the paperwork, where she reads the name of his witness and basically says the witness has a vendetta against her. Which, I mean, shouldn't that be hearsay? I mean, I didn't know they could disregard a witness just because the defendant claims the witness hates them. But of course, the idiot judge goes along with it and tells the lawyer he has to produce paperwork proving that he is Jennifer's lawyer. Which, I mean, why wasn't the judge asking for this much proof from Marla? But I don't know, maybe that's the way shit goes. But yeah, he goes back to her son, who's understandably pissed off, and now it's on. And he eventually gets her friend killed. And now Marla's girlfriend is scared shitless, understandably. But Marla, being so greedy, refuses to release Jennifer. So fast forward, and now she gets to see Jennifer and basically asks her, who she is. And Jennifer is so doped up, she can barely produce a coherent response. Which honestly shows just how fucked up what she's doing to these people really is. Then Marla threatens Jennifer that she'll make her super uncomfortable and tells her she's gonna die in that home.
What?
Like, bro, every time she opens her mouth, it just makes me hate her even more. So Jennifer's son has his friends go attempt to break her out. And lo and behold, they fail.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I'm literally rooting for Marla's downfall at this point. So later she's going to her car and she gets caught lacking. Then she's finally face to face with Jennifer's son. And they talk for a while and he basically says he's gonna kill her. And she's playing tough the whole time, so they knock her out. And they put her in a car, trying to make her death look like an accident, but predictably enough, it doesn't work. Like, if she was drugged, how does she wake up the second the car goes off the road so she could have enough time to get herself out of the car? I thought they would have given her a higher dose of whatever they used to sedate her, but obviously not. Then Jennifer goes home and finds her girlfriend with a small pool of blood under her head, appearing to be dead, but surprise, surprise, she's not. Then they go take revenge on Jennifer's son. Marla somehow overpowers his men, knocks him out with a taser, burns everything of his, leaving him there naked in the street, and I'm just like,
Come on now, bitch, ain't nobody trying to see that shit!
Then they inject him with some kind of drug and leave him there. So fast forward, he wakes up in a hospital and basically she tells him now she's his legal guardian because people believe they just found him overdosed in the middle of the street. And that she's gonna keep both him and his mom under her care unless he pays her off. So basically, she won. And my blood was boiling watching this. So he says he will, but then he gives her an alternative. To open several care homes and become billionaires. So she accepts, and now she's all over the world and on TV smiling and getting super rich. But when you think it's all over...
Oh, listen, I don't have time.
No!
Security!
My mom died!
Help! Help!
Baby, look at me, look at me.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg!
This ending was the best possible one. So what do I think? Overall, the movie was subpar. I didn't love it, but I guess the ending kind of redeemed it. I mean, having a character that shitty, something has to happen. So I will say at least it made me feel a range of emotions, but mostly rage. But I guess I could see it can be an enjoyable film. Well, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. So I'm watching this with my girlfriend, who will be coming out with her first video soon. You should subscribe and check her out. But yeah, what do you think about this movie? And did you like the characters and the ending? Personally, it ended up being basically exactly what I expected. A subpar movie, but at least the ending was pretty decent. But don't forget to like and subscribe. It does make all the difference. This has been MarblePluto. Until next time.